Most visitors to Finland's national parks and nature reserves assume that their forests and marshes are untouched environments, which only need to be left alone to evolve through natural processes. This is often true, but many protected areas also contain environments that have been reshaped by man, such as commercially managed forests and artificially drained marshes. It is often important to help such areas revert to their natural state more rapidly. This habitat restoration work may involve tools more often seen as enemies of nature, such as excavators and motor saws. In marshes ditched to improved timber production, some or all of the trees that have been able to grow in the drier ground must be cut down. The timber can be sold off to cover the costs of habitat restoration work. Finland's protected areas contain a total area of about 500 square kilometers of artificially drained marshland in need of habitat restoration. The task of restoring natural marshland habitats in Finland's protected areas is still in its early stages. But projects supported by the European Union's Life Nature Fund are already well underway. Restoring such habitats is also an important part of the Metso Forest Biodiversity Programme for southern Finland. Many plants and animals benefit from the recreation of natural marshes, including willow grouse, wood sandpipers, whooper swans and cranes. Research has shown that rare marshland butterflies, cloudberries and many other marshland plants can rapidly return to marshes where natural conditions are restored. Some trees also have to be cut down where natural forest habitats are being restored. In this national park, old spruce trees are being felled and left to rot and gather moss on the forest floor. This is done to increase the amount of ecologically valuable decaying wood in the forest, providing food for many insects and other species that feed on dead wood. Trees can also be deliberately damaged all the way round their trunks to make them decay slowly while remaining standing. The quantities of decaying wood must be increased even in areas that are now protected. This is because forests that have been commercially managed in the past may still only contain considerably less dead wood as in untouched natural forests. Promoting wood decay also benefits many birds, including woodpeckers and crested tits like this one, gratefully pecking out a new nesting hole in the rotting trunk of an old birch tree. Finland's protected areas are thought to already contain a total of some 300 square kilometers of forest in need of habitat restoration measures. Such work will also be needed in forests added to expanded protected areas in the future. More broadleaf trees are also needed to restore the natural diversity of protected forests, especially where forests have been artificially planted. When small clearings are made here and there in otherwise monotonous young planted forests, birches, aspens and other broadleaf trees soon spring up, benefiting the many species dependent on them. Making such small clearings helps commercially managed forests to revert to their natural state. Back in the wooded marshes where the surplus trees were removed during the winter, an excavator is now at work, blocking up artificial drainage ditches. Once the ditches have been blocked, water levels will begin to rise again. Mosses and other marshland plants will gradually grow over the old ditches until all traces of the artificial drainage have gone. Restored marshy woodlands can provide a suitable refuge for wildlife, including many game birds. When large drainage ditches are blocked, natural streams elsewhere in the woods that may have been dry for decades spring back to life as the water trickles along their winding courses once more. All kinds of creatures will soon return to these natural marshy woodland habitats. These sphagnum mosses that carpet the restored marshes suck up the moisture like a sponge, and cloudberry flowers attract hungry insects. Restored marshlands are a paradise for many plants and insects such as dragonflies and butterflies and their caterpillars. People can also appreciate the beauty of their landscapes, as well as the rich harvests of berries. A pair of cranes has found a good nesting site on the marshes, and they are already teaching their offspring to fly. Events have taken a dramatic turn in the protected forests during the summer. Carefully controlled forest fires help to reproduce the natural diversity of forest habitats, while also creating more decaying wood and providing vital habitat for many endangered species that depend on charred wood. Natural forest fires used to be common in Finland, but nowadays they are an unusual and spectacular sight. Within just a few hours of the flames dying down, the first signs of life appear on the blackened scene, in the shape of various species of beetles and other insects that can only thrive on burnt wood. The painted jewel beetle is one such specialist that has become seriously endangered in Finland. A close examination of a burnt tree trunk also reveals several beetles feeding on the damaged wood. All these insects quickly attract lesser spotted woodpeckers and other birds searching for tasty morsels. Birch trees, left charred but still standing after the forest fire, are soon dotted with clusters of coal fungi, among which scurry small beetles. The open sunlight habitats created by forest fires attract insects such as rattle grasshoppers. This grasshopper is looking for a mate among wild thyme plants that are rapidly recovering from the effects of the fire. Swampy spruce woodlands are few and far between in Finland today, as most such areas were ditched decades ago to boost timber growth. The rewards for restoring such spruce marshes include the reappearance of rare birds, like the three-toed woodpecker, seen here seeking food on a spruce tree that has been treated to promote decay. Ecologists sometimes say that the most valuable type of tree in Finland's nature reserves is a dead tree. The death and decay of a single tree can give life to hundreds of forest plants and creatures. Old and decaying aspens are also an increasingly rare sight in Finland's forests, due to modern forestry methods and the effective prevention of forest fires. Every new stand of aspens is welcome for animals like this longhorn beetle and the many fungi, lichens and mosses associated with aspen trees. Longhorn beetle larvae live under the bark of dead or dying aspen trees, and the adults feed on aspen leaves. Every old aspen is a potential home, as longhorn beetles can thrive equally well in shady aspen woods or on lone trees left standing in clearings. The endangered soldier fly species is another insect found only on aspens. Recreating natural woodland habitats can help rare creatures of all shapes and sizes. Restoring natural habitats in forests and marshes in Finland's protected areas is a challenging but vital task. In helping such areas to revert to their natural conditions, we are in some way repaying a small part of the enormous debt we owe to nature. For our part, we gain healthier and more varied natural surroundings, and also more beauty in the landscape. Something we can surely never have too much of.